Out here on the American River today, taking off from Sailor Bar all the way to Sutter's Landing. Got another crew member on the Paddle Pyrates team. Let's go!
Shortly after getting underway, one of our mates, Tom, it was his first time out on stand-up paddleboard. He actually lost his footing and went down to the drink, as you can see right there. Needless to say, we had to make a quick rescue. Nobody was hurt or injured, and he did get back up on the board just fine, as you'll see in this clip. You'll see here, Brandon, our camera guy, tried to stop the board and slow it down for Tom. But as he was doing that, that's right when the waves started coming in pretty hot, and Brandon's still pretty new as well on the board, so he was trying to just maintain control himself. I kind of noticed that Tom was not getting to the board too quickly yet, so I decided as the captain of the crew to make my way back up to him and see if I could stop that board so he could get back up onto it. He ends up grabbing the board, gets up just fine, and we carry on with the day. That is one thing to note about the Paddle Pyrates. No man gets left behind, and we're all about water safety. We want to make sure that you guys have a good time when you come out here, and that you know what you're doing and you feel comfortable, safe, and calm. There's a couple sections of these rapids that you're going to see before you hit the upper sunrise section. Right here, you're going to see that little island up ahead. You can go right or left. We chose to go left. It's kind of a windy, narrow, shallow section, and I just think it's a lot of fun. It's pretty fast. If you do go the other way, there is a rapid that pulls you towards the shoreline and then hard to the left, so you definitely want to be braced and ready for that. And here we are coming around Upper Sunrise Boat Launch, and this is Sunrise Avenue. We're going under the bridge right here. At this point, we're right about 2 miles into the journey. Here's the footbridge right next to Sunrise Avenue. From here, it's a pretty long straightaway that's smooth and decently fast flowing until you reach Suicide Bend. Now you guys are gonna watch us go through that. When you are going through Suicide Bend, there is a wave train that's going down the center. I normally steer to the right of that. It seems to be the smoothest section to go through. If you go to the left of it, it does get pretty shallow and you can bottom out, especially later into the summer. But right now the water level is at 8.5, so clearance is pretty good. So right after Suicide Bend, you're gonna come into more of a straight section. This is known as the clay banks or the straits. This is got a nice wave train to the left-hand side, as you'll notice in a second. And then after you get past that, there's a lot of pretty strong swirlies and eddies that you're gonna see come at you. Right now, Brandon's going through the wave train area. If you're still new to SUP or new to river paddling, there's definitely no shame in going down to the knees in these sections if you don't feel comfortable. And then once you are comfortable with those types of sections, you can challenge yourself and see how long you can stand up. Watch how crazy some of this water looks as Brandon's going through this section right here. If you look to the left, it looks smoother. That's an eddy that's shooting at him. And if you look towards the right, that's a swirly that he has coming at him counterclockwise. Ideally, you want to stay right where the white foam is. It kind of looks like a snake going down the river. That's where the flow is. Everything else is eddy and swirlies and everything trying to capsize you and go the opposite direction. So you definitely want to stay with the current. Coming up next, we've got the infamous San Juan Rapids. There be no turning back now, mates. If you look to the right, you can see all the white water. That is where the wave train is, and it's quite big. And this year there was a lot of deep sections in that. Not something that I go through. I know some paddleboarders do, but to each his own. You'll see Brandon going through some of the rough stuff here in just a second, and he actually did stand the whole time through this. I went down to my knees for just a sec. I almost got tossed off. There's also a large eddy right here. You see the eddy shooting back towards his board. That's pretty intense right there, so you do want to pay attention to that as you're coming to the end. There's an eddy on the left and on the right, so try to stay in that white snake foam and stay in that current. It's definitely a lot more intense in person than from a camera view. The camera really does it no justice. Those wakes are pretty deep out there. If you're on your knees, those are like head height basically. And just a side note, one of the worst things you can do through the rapids is stop paddling. Always continue to paddle and keep yourself stable on the board. This next section's just before River Bend Park, and you can actually go to the left, the center, or to the right. I always choose the center. It's the most fast flowing, and there's a cool little rapid section that you get to go through. You want to watch out for the tree hazard on the left right there. If you go the other routes, they're just as fun, but I am a guy who likes speed. Once the current calms down, you'll find yourself making your way around River Bend Park just before the infamous Ardan Rapids.
This here be the Ardan Rapids, mates, where dead men tell no tales. Hang on tight and choose your line wisely.
So when you go through here, you're going to notice some roller type waves right off the get-go. Then the ripples start getting a little more intense, and then they really pick up towards the middle of the section, and then it just starts kind of like fizzling out. It's about a 200-yard rapid section, and honestly, like, I love this area. I think this is probably one of the most fun spots on this entire section of river that we paddle. And like I said before, you know, once you're in there, just keep paddling. Don't stop. Just stay on it and ride it out. Do it with a smile on your face and stay calm. Hang loose. Tough to see with the water on the lens, but I am standing through this whole section, and you do want to err on the side of caution through here just because it is a shallower section, and sometimes your paddle or your fin will hit the rocks at the bottom. So it's definitely, if you are going to stand, you know, make sure that you're experienced, and also, you know, beware that you might get thrown off into that rock. This was a new section for me. I'd never gone through this area before. Normally the water's just too low right here and you can't make it through, but today the water's 8.5 feet. So that allowed us just enough space to get through this area without smacking our paddles or our fins. And it was really cool. It was fast flowing, and then once you came up to this spot right up here, it like kind of went into a hard right and you had to brace and then keep paddling. Pretty cool. This is the last section of rapids on today's journey. This is just before Gristmill Park. You can see the wave train over there on the left-hand side. I normally hang to the right just because it's a little faster flowing. Wave to the search and rescue. Gotta love the wakes that the boats make. Gristmill Park for a snack break. We got Chris, Dino, Tomcat, Brandon. We're 10 miles in, 8 to go. Let's rock and roll.
So once you get a little ways past Gristmill, you're gonna see this big island. I totally suggest heading this way into that little inlet. It's a fun little section that is kind of windy, and there's a little rapid spot, a good spot for lunch. Let's go through it.
This spot right up here on the left-hand side is normally a really good spot to stop and eat, but the water's a little high today. This is that smaller rapid section that I was talking about. Since the water level's so high, it's not too rough today. And that was Brandon going for a swim. This is Watt Avenue that we're currently going under. This area right here is a fast little section with a little bit of ripples in the water. And when you get up to here, there's a little island. You can either go left or right. If you go left, it's usually much more shallow, so I usually always hang to the right. Plus the current is faster flowing this way anyhow. From here to Howe Avenue is flat and slow. This is actually Howe Avenue River access right here. And then you'll see the bridge right ahead of us. So from here to Sutter's Landing is pretty flat, as you can see. And you can kind of see the replica Golden Gate right there. And now we're just making our way to our favorite spot, Pirates Hideout. This is a quick little section right here, and it's more of like an S-turn. And again, you just want to stay with the white. If you look at the sides, they're smoother. Those are the eddy currents and the swirlies that are going by. If you stay in that current right there with the white, you'll be good to go. This area is a lot of fun. We've officially reached my island, Pirates Hideout. This is where we stop for lunch every time. The kids love it. It's a really cool island. Stop, get a little ice bath action, hang out, and then back on the road. Here we are at our final destination, Sutter's Beach Landing. Hope you guys had a great voyage with us today. Stay tuned on the next one. Hit like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell. And if you'd like to come out and join our crew, add us on Instagram at Paddle Pyrates. We'll see you guys on the next journey.